All right, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the most complex and important system in your body. We're talking about your internal command and control network, the ultimate OS, your nervous system.
I mean, really stop and think about that for a second. Right now, as you're listening to my voice, there are literally billions of complex things happening inside you, and most of it is completely automatic. So who's conducting this incredible orchestra?
Well, the answer is this amazing, high-speed biological computer. It's the wiring, it's the processor, and it's the software that makes you, well, you.
Okay, let's dive in and just take a look at the scale of this thing. This is not just a few wires we're talking about. It's a massive biological superhighway. It connects every single part of you, from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, all feeding into one central hub. This is the big picture. We're going to break down piece by piece.
So, how do we even begin to understand something this complicated? Well, we break it down. The easiest way to think about it is like a giant organization with two main parts. You've got a central headquarters, and then you have a network of agents out in the field.
So on one side, you have the central nervous system, or the CNS. This is headquarters. It's made up of the brain and the spinal cord, and it's where all the big decisions get made. And on the other side, that's the peripheral nervous system, or PNS. This is your field network. It's all the sensory and motor neurons, basically the messengers and spies that carry information from headquarters out to the body, and just as importantly, send intel back.
And this chart right here, this is basically the master plan for the whole operation. It gives us the perfect roadmap for our journey today. We're going to follow this thing from the top all the way down to see how every single piece of this amazing system fits together.
So, let's start our tour where all the action is, right inside headquarters, the central nervous system. This is where the magic really happens.
And here it is, the command center itself, the brain. This single organ is packed with over 100 billion neurons. That's billion with a B. Every one of them acts like a tiny little computer processor, and altogether, they're coordinating pretty much everything you do, from thinking deep thoughts to a simple blink.
Now, the biggest part of the brain is the cerebrum. You can think of it as the CEO of the whole corporation. It handles all the high-level stuff, learning, memory, language, and any movement you choose to make. And all those famous folds and grooves you see, that's all about increasing the surface area, basically giving the CEO a much bigger desk to get more complex work done. Then, kind of tucked away at the back, you've got the cerebellum. Now, if the cerebrum is the CEO, the cerebellum is the master coordinator, the project manager. Its whole job is to make sure your movements are smooth, balanced, and precise. Anytime you ride a bike, play an instrument, or type on a keyboard without even thinking about it, that's your cerebellum working its magic.
And connecting the big brain to the rest of the body is the brainstem. And listen, this part is your absolute non-negotiable life support system. Seriously. It handles all the critical jobs you never have to think about: your heartbeat, your breathing, your blood pressure. It's the silent, tireless engine room that keeps the whole operation running 24/7.
The other half of headquarters, of course, is the spinal cord. It's the main data cable. It's the information superhighway that runs from the brain all the way down your back, safely protected by your spine. It's constantly relaying messages out and bringing sensory data in.
Okay, so we've had a good look at headquarters. But how do the commands actually get out to the body, and how does information from the outside world get back in? Well, for that, we need to check out the field network, the peripheral nervous system. And this field network is split into two major departments. First, you've got the somatic system. Think of this as everything under your conscious, voluntary control, like deciding to kick a ball or pick something up. Then you have the autonomic system. And yep, you guessed it, this handles all the involuntary, automatic stuff you never think about, like your heart beating or your stomach digesting food.
But here's where it gets really clever. Even that voluntary system has a built-in emergency override. Let's say you touch a hot stove. The signal screaming pain doesn't even have time to go all the way to your brain. Instead, it hits the spinal cord, which acts like a local field commander and immediately issues a command: pull back. A signal zips to the muscle, and your hand is already moving away before your brain has even processed what happened. That's a reflex, and it's all about speed and survival.
So now let's dig into that other branch, the part of your nervous system that is always running on autopilot, the autonomic system.
We've all been there, right? You're home alone at night, and you hear a weird noise downstairs. What happens instantly? Your heart starts pounding. Your breathing gets faster. Your senses go on high alert. You didn't choose to do any of that.
That was your autonomic system taking over.
And the way it works is through two competing branches that are constantly in a duel. On one side, you have the sympathetic system. This is your fight or flight response. It's the gas pedal. It jacks up your heart rate, opens up your lungs, and gets you ready for immediate, intense action. On the other side is the parasympathetic system. This is your rest and digest system. It's the brake pedal. It slows everything down and focuses on background tasks like digestion.
The real genius of this whole setup is the delicate dance between these two systems. They're constantly pushing and pulling, hitting the gas and tapping the brakes to keep your body in a state of perfect balance, called homeostasis, and make sure you're perfectly prepared for whatever life decides to throw at you.
So, let's zoom back out one last time and just appreciate how this entire elegant system comes together.
So, we're back at our master plan. And now, it should all make a lot more sense, right? You can see the CNS, the command center, making all the big decisions. And you see the PNS, that massive field network, carrying out the orders and sending intel back. Every single part has its own job, but they all work together in perfect, seamless harmony.
You know, this quote here really just says it all, doesn't it? It's not just doing one job, it's the coordinator, it's the messenger, it's the processor, and it's the analyst for your entire body. It's the whole shebang.
And that, right there, is the ultimate takeaway. This isn't just biological plumbing designed to keep you alive. This incredible network is the very fabric of your reality. Every memory, every emotion, every idea you have ever had was born right here, in this system.
So I'll just leave you with one final thought to ponder. If this impossibly complex, incredible network is the operating system for your body, who or what is the user?